Jake Conover and Grant Looters.
Oh, crap. I forgot to change that for you, Austin.
It's all right.
All right, so what? Is it time just to make it official?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
I mean,
let's
you
start
just
off there.
Yeah.
Well, let's welcome in our true third, Austin Phelps.
Let's go, gentlemen.
Yes, there we go.
He's ready to rock and roll. He's got old man.
I mean, I've been
back.
waiting all day for Thursday night. Let's be honest. I've been like,
Uh-huh.
watching the last episode, critiquing myself. I'm like, you should have said that, you idiot. So,
I mean, that's how it goes. Oh, and yeah, we got people making fun of Grant already, ready to find out. Because yes, as everybody knows, at least Grant and I are live on site here at JJ's
Yep.
Wine, Spirits, and Cigars. Austin, hopefully we'll get our budget up a little higher so we can get you flown in for these shows.
Private jet style, probably.
But we'll work.
I just
on
got to
it.
find an NIL deal. Just an NIL deal, and we'll be good
Yeah.
to go, right?
There we go. Put the onus on you. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so we might as well address the elephant in the room.
I mean, okay, so last show I got a lot of grief because I had what I would consider a foo-foo drink, as my grandma would call it.
Everyone.
Yeah, a gimlet for those who are gin drinkers. Tonight I've just switched to a gin flight. So that's the drink of choice tonight.
Let's see it. He needs to see what glass you're actually drinking. I mean, this is
Okay.
more manly.
It's
There you
more.
go.
It's literally just gin. It's. I mean, it's.
Yeah, he's just doing shots here with us. So
Mhm. It's a flight, so then it makes it sound classy. So
yeah, it's an adult shot. Shot
listen,
ski.
okay. In my defense, if you're gonna do a flight of gin somewhere, JJ's is the spot, 100%. We're
Yeah.
looking at the shelf here, and there's not a gin in here that you couldn't name that they don't have. So
All right, so let's go ahead and get started because we got a special guest that I'm pretty sure everybody's excited to see more.
Oh, yeah.
Us talking about our drink of choice.
yeah,
But
I
we'll keep
agree.
going. So first and foremost, going on around the university, I'd say this is probably one of the biggest Saturdays there's ever been when it comes to basketball at USC, at least in recent memory. Taking on SCSU, one at home, one on the road. Men face off at 1 p.m. at the SCSC. Women travel up to Brookings at 6. For the true diehards, tip ends, be done about 3 hour drive to Brookings, hour and a half. You can make both games.
Agreed. I think I was about to say that if you're really dialed in on Saturday, head down to Vermilion, watch the men play, turn the car north, head up to Brookings, and catch both games, and have a hell of a Saturday. So I will not be at Brookings, but I will be down in Vermilion. I'm bringing the whole family, so it'll be a good time. We're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. And
I'm
then
just trying to think. Sorry, gentlemen. If
No,
you go
you're good.
2-0, you get back into Vermilion. I mean, you can catch all the bars at 10:30 and celebrate
You have to.
2-0.
It's a there, back, and there. You're exactly right, Austin.
That's
That
it.
is.
And you know what? If you're stopping, if you don't go all the way back to Vermilion and you stopping in Sioux Falls, I know a wonderful bar to close down.
I have a pretty good idea.
Hey, you teed that one up, and that was organic right there. All
Oh, that's
right,
good.
but yes, 2-0 on Saturday would go a long ways, not only in having some fun, but also in the standings as well. But before we get to that, Calling All Coyotes, April 17th. Back-to-back table is filling up. Actually, we have some people sitting down with us. So I think we're at 5, maybe we're looking at 7 here
I
soon.
was gonna
So
say 5 for sure. I'd say we'll have 7 pretty soon here. So
absolutely. So yeah, if you want to join us at the table, we'll be the rowdy one in the back, and hopefully, we can have some fun there as well. Get some cool coyote gear if we don't get outbid. Now, like I mentioned, Saturday is very important in more ways than one. Obviously, we want to keep owning the state. It seems to be trending that way. But the seating is all over the board for the Summit League tournament. This is pretty crazy, actually.
yeah, I think the men it's pretty wide open. 4 to 7 is available for the men. And actually South Dakota State's squarely in that with us. So that's why that game on Saturday is so important. We're fighting for seeding. I'm not sure how high they can go. I think we're a game ahead of them right now, but there's some results I'd have to post tonight. I know there's a lot of teams playing tonight, but we'll get more info. But yeah, really important for the men. They can get that into that 4 seed. And then the women, of course, they can overtake second place on the women's side with a win up in Brookings. So it'll be a test. I know both teams are going to be looking for revenge because USD's got the edge in both games. So should be fun. But yeah, Summit League. I think there's plenty of all session tickets available, single session. So if you haven't been to the Summit League tournament before, I highly recommend it. Me and my dad, we've been going for about 10 years now. Living in Sioux Falls, we don't care who's playing. We don't care if it's Fort Wayne versus Omaha. We'll be there. So that's a little throwback to some old Summit League members, to say the least. But some of our best games have been there. So highly recommend it.
Absolutely. And I want to give a shout out to one of our followers at Backpack, Steve. He mentions room off to the side with all the coyotes more than the games themselves.
That's right. Yeah.
Opportunity to get a few drinks in you as well with some other coyotes before you head in. I do like that the seats that if you got them through the university, you're kind of spread out through the stadium, which in my opinion is better because then it can help bring the noise from, a full range instead of just one section. So yeah, but there are also Summit League single session tickets on sale as well. What, you guys were in 105 when you bought them through the university?
I think so. We're looking at them today. We're in the lower bowl for sure. I think somewhere near the baseline. So I think we got some pretty good seats.
And I did hear 105 quite a bit from other fans. So if you're looking to try to be close to some USC fans as well, 105 is where you want to be at.
I'll say the Summit League hospitality room. It's the only time Grant's dad has had to reintroduce himself to myself like 4 or 5 times because I would keep forgetting who he was. I'm like, who is this guy coming up? Every day he would do it. I'm like, I don't know.
That sounds right. That sounds right for him too. So, hey, if you come up this year, maybe you can meet my dad for the 9th, 10th
I would love to. Oh, I'm really hoping I can make it happen. We'll find out.
Oh, that's good. I love that. I love that.
No, it's an absolute blast in the hospitality room, though. Oh, Coyote fans get it. We know how to get after it, that's for sure. But last but not least here, the full Coyote schedule has been released. Very excited about this. We are facing FCS or better. We're not dipping into D2 like some programs probably will end up announcing here soon.
Oh, yeah.
But we open up not only with an FCS opponent who's been to back-to-back playoffs, but we're also facing them in the Dome first.
Yes.
And Grant, what did Coach have to say about that today at lunch?
Yeah, so we had lunch with the youth, Coach Vitz in Sioux Falls. Both Jake and I were there. It's good to hear from him, but should back up and say the schedule's now final. We had to do some reshuffling with NDSU, right, leaving the conference. And so the conference schedule itself has been reshuffled, but more importantly, man, that first game is going to be huge. You got to think about a new quarterback making his first start, regardless of who it is. The fans got to show up and show out. This is a team that's been to playoffs back-to-back years, back-to-back NEC champs. So they're not going to come over and they're not going to come in and roll over by any stretch of the imagination. So important game. I know we had Corey on after the non-conference got finalized. He worked his tail off to get this game on the calendar. So us fans got to do our part and show up, and it's going to be a blast. It's the first game, week 0, August 29th. Can't get here soon enough, but that non-conference slate, I think, is about as good as we've had in a long time. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's phenomenal just the way it lines up with, the teams we have at home and how it goes every other. I think there's a lot to like about the non-con.
Absolutely. And we could definitely get into it with our guests here on that as well, just kind of what it means to be able to open up at home, but then not only that, getting your FBS opponent later on, not right away, but moving into the conference side of things, we have the reigning Walter Payton walking into the Dome, or going to visit the Walter Payton in the opening of the conference games out at Youngstown. That one will be interesting, and we'll dive a lot deeper into what the schedule looks like and what we expect from it. But then 2 home games, Indiana State and Southern Illinois. I know I don't want to go into 5 overtimes again against them. So hopefully we can not do that. But being at home will be nice. We got Murray State, and then we have UND coming back to the Dome for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, they when they reshuffled the schedule, they kind of got the short end of the stick on that. Usually it's every other, especially with the Dakota schools. But just the way it worked out this year, they're coming back to the Dome. I think that's great. Grand Forks is a hard place to play. There's just no way around that. So I think it's great that we can get them at the Dome again. So I like that as well.
And then, actually, funny enough, the team that actually got the true short end of the stick is the team we face next up in Brookings, because they have to go up to Grand Forks 3 years in a row now. I don't know what that means, but
kind of crazy. I mean, it's such a weird year, so it's hard to really draw anything from it. But going up there back-to-back years is weird enough, but 3 years in a row, that definitely stinks. I know there's some gripes from the state fans on that, but as far as away games go, we kind of talked about this. Really, Brookings is probably the one that's easily traveled. You know, we don't have Grand Forks or Fargo. Those ones always pop out of like the away games you can get to. So Brookings might be the only one, maybe Normal if you're really eager, but
which that one might be for the conference too.
Could be a lot on the line. I'll jump in the car and go if there's something on the line, no doubt.
Absolutely.
How nice is it to get that SDSU game in October instead of the end of November like it usually is? Like, I know it's 10 to 15 degrees warmer, but like that's very nice. The last time we played up there, I think it was about the same time as well.
And I was surprised at how many SDSU fans complained about it being on Halloween. Like,
I saw that as
was a
well.
little weird.
I will say too, for people looking at the schedule, as we know, the Missouri Valley and ESPN have a contract where they pick up a couple of games every year. It'd be hard not to think that game would probably be on ESPN. The only other one I could think about is maybe the Illinois State game if we're heading out over that way, with them going all the way to the championship game. So, I love the schedule, the way it played out. The only thing I'll say, we didn't talk about it, but the week 11 bye, I think that's in a pretty good spot, all things considered. The only other thing I would say that's a little bit tough is heading to Boise and then flipping and having to go all the way out to Youngstown. Yeah, it's tough, two tough road trips with tough teams, but outside of that, I think it's a pretty good schedule. I don't know what you guys think, but
yeah, and we can definitely dive deeper into it, but I'm very excited about it. I think they did a great job of splitting up our home and aways too. Nothing too crazy. Actually, we don't go on back-to-back road trips in the non-con or in the conference, which is nice. Obviously, we do have the back-to-back between Boise and Youngstown, but outside of that, it's home, and away. I really like that quite a bit. And then, bye week towards the end to help with the playoff push and finishing out with two very strong opponents.
The only real thing that I saw that I think makes it more difficult for a conference schedule is you open on the road in conference against a really good Youngstown State team that had a really good year. It was UNI before. That's really the only thing. It's like, dang, that kind of stinks. But I still think those first 5 games are so key to the rest of the season. And that Youngstown State game is the one that I have circled on the calendar where you're really going to know about this team.
Yeah. And you know what? Things are weird when we play out in Youngstown too. Those games have been weird, even when they've been bad. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. But we'll definitely, as the season gets closer, as we know more and more about the roster, we'll do a full breakdown on it. So keep an eye out for that show. But we're gonna keep rolling through here. I'm really excited. I love doing the sponsor part.
Oh yeah.
When we're in the bar. So my drink of the night, of course, is going to be the Bloody Mary. You can't go wrong when you get to JJ's. The Bloody Mary is top-notch, probably the best in South Dakota for sure. So I'm going to rock it instantly. Which gin has been your favorite so far?
Let me look at the menu. It's hard to say. Monkey 45 seems to be the winner right now. It always is. Monkey 47, excuse me. I got another one coming up here. I'll keep everybody posted. I'm sure they're really
rank on it.
Really wanting to know my ranking.
All right, but be sure to stop in. I'm eyeing the whiskey/scotch row here to figure out what I'll be drinking when the Yotes bring home the championship, because we got to celebrate it right, and there's going to be a cigar paired with that real well. So. You need anything liquor-wise, wine-wise, or cigar-wise, you stop in at JJ's on 57th Street, and they're going to take care of you real well. And then, as always, don't forget to check out the bar on the other side. You got to try out the drinks.
100%.
All right. Well, now we're going to flip to the part where everybody's excited for. We've been
keeping our guests on the sideline here too long. So I apologize, but
all right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Welcome in, Mosai Newsom. How you doing?
Appreciate it. I'm good. Thanks for having me.
I tell you what, Personally, I've had this one circled. I've had a few of you guys circled on who I wanted to have on. You've definitely been high on that list just with the way you and my girls interacted, whether it was before game or after game. I am going to jump in right away, see if I can get a tear out of you on this one. But my youngest, Briar, did ask me to ask you, because I told him I was going to be talking with you. She wanted me to ask you if you were going to miss them.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I'm absolutely going to miss them very much. That was always awesome after the games to come over and see you guys together. And that was really cool. But 100%.
All right. And I will say, you know what? It was a blast. I always kind of felt like we were intruding just a little bit whenever we were up at that landing, because you guys got an opportunity to sit with your family after the game and whatnot. But the amount of respect and love you guys showed to every fan that was there, whether it was some kid running around with a permanent marker in the poster, or he got a glove from you, so of course you got to sign it now. I absolutely love the heck out of what you guys done, and it's going to make it interesting just because a lot of those guys that we went to see have all graduated, and you're one of those. So it's going to make that landing a little more interesting this fall.
Yeah, no, you guys never intruding. It's like that's a huge part of it. I think that's part of what makes it so much fun, and just like we used to be those kids, I grew up around sports, and a lot of us that play here and played everywhere grew up around sports. That used to be us. So I think a lot of us understand that and enjoy interacting with anybody that we can.
Absolutely. All right, but yeah,
I was gonna say that might be a good place to start too, Mo, if you don't mind. Maybe just kind of talking about. I mean, of course, your background, your personal background, but maybe how you ended up landing at USD, right? I think that's kind of that's a unique story, and then maybe just give a little insight to your time at USD as well. And I know you said you had some good stories to share. We always love hearing good stories from players, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, my background with USD kind of goes back farther than I think what most people kind of know or realize. My dad he's the head track and field coach, assistant AD at Wartburg College, and he used to be a football coach at Wartburg College, and he coached football with Bob Nielsen a long time ago, 20 plus years ago. He was Coach Nielsen's DB coach, and so that happened a long time ago. When I was going through the recruiting cycle, the circuit, my first camp was University of South Dakota. My sophomore year of high school, and that was my first offer. Coach Nielsen kind of came up to me and was like, "You know what? We have a connection. We've got some ties. I know. I just want to be the first offer." I know there's maybe going to be some more, and I was fortunate enough that there was. So South Dakota was kind of the first school that offered me. I ended up choosing Nebraska as the school to attend. I was there. I've been kind of open about it. It was an experience that I probably needed, but it was not the best experience that I've ever had. But it's something that grew me as a man and grew me as a football player. Went through some trials and stuff, but it was great. I've learned a lot about myself, and then entered the transfer portal, and that was kind of a no-brainer. Coach Nielsen was here at University of South Dakota. I met Coach Johansson for the first time, and I vividly remember sitting down with Coach Nielsen and Coach Johansson and both those guys. I was like, I'm coming to South Dakota. I mean, it's almost like it was. I'm Christian, I'm a believer, and it was almost like okay, this is God telling me I need to go to University of South Dakota. There's no other place for me to go. So that's kind of how I ended up at South Dakota, and there's no other place that I'd rather be.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I know we're happy to have you. Have had you. Spent quite some time at USD. So what was it like with that transfer from going not just Nebraska but FBS down to FCS? Was there a huge drastic change, or was it pretty similar?
Honestly, people think it's a big change, and everything from the competition to the resources, and the resources are a little different, but it's not that big of a difference. I mean, especially being in the Missouri Valley. The Missouri Valley is, I'm an Iowa kid, so I grew up and I respected the Missouri Valley, and it's a legit football conference with really good football programs that care a lot and do a lot for their players, athletes. So it wasn't a huge transition. I mean, the one main thing is, I think anybody that has made that transition would say it's like just kind of the food. That's the one thing. But like you go from getting 3 meals plus a day to once a couple times a week. They do a good job at South Dakota feeding us, but not like some other places don't. But yeah, that's the difference. But for me, like, it helped me. I had to learn how to cook. I had to grow up. I had to not be babied. But no, it's not a huge transition, not a hard transition.
Okay, gotcha.
So then I should say, just to kind of pivot off that as well. So maybe tell folks kind of about where you're at, what you're doing now, and then kind of what kind of plans you have upcoming here.
Yeah, so I'm still in Vermillion, South Dakota. I'm still in the college house. I live with Nate Ewell. He's our linebacker, so he'll probably be coming in the door at some point. And so I'm training for our pro day. This is kind of my second shot at it. But I'm training for our pro day. I feel really confident about the program that was written and the training and the people helping me out. And then I also am the intern, GA/recruiting intern at the University of South Dakota with the football team. So I'm getting some kind of just work experience while I train for pro day, and it's been awesome. I'm very fortunate to Coach Johansson kind of helped me set that up before he left, and it's been awesome. I get to be around the guys. I get to train and get ready to be a pro football player. So
absolutely. And then on the GA side, you mentioned there, what exactly are you working on, or is it just kind of all encompassing on the football program?
Yeah, so it's kind of like specifically recruiting. So when the portal was going, I helped out with a lot of portal visits. I hosted some kids, kind of helped build itineraries, and just kind of helped with the flight booking and all that stuff. And then right now it's kind of some scouting stuff and looking at like class of 2027 kids and learning about why are we recruiting this kid? How are we recruiting him? What are we going to do? Just kind of learning the ins and outs and just kind of helping out where I can.
With the transfer portal, how quick is that turnaround from like, hey, transfer portal, kid, we're trying to get him on campus immediately, from like how quick is that process? Because obviously the portal's open for a very limited time.
Yeah, no, it's very quick. Those visits are like, because it's what, around a 2-week window, and they're coming in, and the kids are coming in, and they are having a day and a half visit, and they're leaving, and then they could be back on campus enrolled in classes within the next 2-3 days. So it was nuts. Like, and this was the first year that it was like that because there was only one portal window instead of the 2. But no, it was insane. I mean, there's kids coming in in 2 days, like they're flying in, going back, and driving up 2 days later. They're in class. They're here. Wow.
How did that differ from your transfer experience then, which was kind of before the pre-portal era?
Yeah, mine was it was kind of similar. I kind of had my mind set up after, when I was leaving South Dakota. That was my first visit. But it wasn't as like it has to be rapid because the portal closes. Like, there's no you don't get the option of, if you want to be at a school and start in the winter, which I feel like that's how it should be. You don't get the option to kind of wait around and sit and think about it. So I got to kind of sit and think, even though I didn't really do it. But these guys are deciding right away.
Yeah. Yeah, it was wild going through that. I definitely, as a fan, I think we're all a lot happier with the way the portal's set up now. Mm-hmm. You don't have the 2 windows where teams get a chance to assess what they actually need after spring practice. So I think we, for the most part, came out feeling pretty good about where USD's at now. Yeah, no,
I know as the intern, the GA, the intern, I'm very happy. I'm very impressed with how our coaches went about that and how they handled it. I mean, people were all over the place. A lot of teams were all over the place, and they were pretty, they have a structure, they had a system, and they went by it, and it was organized. And I think I think you either lose or you win the portal, and I think we won the portal. So I'm pretty confident in that. But no, it's been great.
I will. Okay, so with it, how nice is it to be able to sit behind Rosie through the portal?
Yeah, no, I mean he knows a lot. He knows a lot. I'm just trying to learn and pick his brain and just kind of figure out how he does what he does. He's got a ton of connections. But no, I mean, like he's the guy to go to about that. So I've been working with him, and I've been working with Keegan Kemp. He's our I know he just got a promotion, but he was our director of football ops. Now it's like it's the football athletic director. I don't want to butcher it, but he knows a lot of people too. He's young, up and coming guy. He's legit. The combination of both of those guys are, I've learned a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I want to go back on a couple of things. I've got 2 questions for you. Maybe you can answer them kind of at the same time. But you mentioned you visited South Dakota from Nebraska, and you said you pretty much had your mind made up. I'm always curious because I grew up in Vermilion, so grew up there, was raised there. Like I love Vermilion, but it's a town it's not an exciting place, right? Like it's a smallest town. It's actually one of the smallest towns that has Division I sports in the whole country, right? So when you say like you just knew when you went in there, what did that look like? Is it I assume obviously there's a lot with coaches and all of that, but like maybe just give a little bit of your thoughts around like, man, this is the place I want to be, or like what kind of sparked that feeling for you?
Yeah, I don't like, for me, my main focus was getting my master's degree, being able to play football and be like play consistent football, and then be around good people. And that third one I think is the most important part. And like when I came in, well, before I even came in, my dad was like, "Hey, Vermilion, you know Coach Nielsen, he's a good person, and that he has good people surrounding him on his staff." And when I got there, I mean, that just that was the truth and more. And I think that, like, for me at least, like, that's, if you want to be around good people, if you want to get your degree, get your master's degree, and play football in one of the top conferences in the country, like, it's kind of a no-brainer. Obviously some kids they're elsewhere, they focus on other things, but I think if
That's a nice way to put it. Yeah.
Focus on what's important. I mean, at least for me, it was a no-brainer. But yeah, the people in Vermilion are awesome. I mean, it's been a great time.
And then real quick before we jump into any other questions, for the folks that are watching with us live, feel free to throw any comments and questions in the chat. I mean, this is all encompassing. I don't think you'll hold back on anything, will you, Mo?
No, let's we can let it rip.
You're a GA now, I guess, there, but for the most part,
there's some stuff that I probably, but for the most part, like, as a past former player, like, I can, whatever. I mean,
absolutely. All right, so I just have one last question on your time at USD with it. And so you applied for medical redshirt or hardship
as well.
Yeah. As the coaching change happened with Nielsen to Johansson, did that sway you in any way, shape, or form when USC went through that transition while you were waiting for the answer?
No, not at all. No, Coach Johansson was with me and talking to me every step of the way. He was very, very kind of instrumental in, helping me kind of stay on board. Because there were some days where I was like, you know what, maybe I don't want to wait and put my life on hold. But he called me and talked to me, and that's the one thing about Coach Johansson is that every time that he says, like, I'm gonna help you out, I'm gonna take care of you, everything will be okay. He means it. I think he's a man of his word. I know he's a man of his word. So, no, I mean, it was awesome to be with both of them. I mean, one's a legend, one's a current legend, and I believe that one will be a legend. So he's on his way. So, I mean, no, it was pretty easy to come back for Coach Johansson.
Absolutely. All right, so I do want to pull this comment up so you can see it here, Mo. This is actually Matt Kogel, so Jackson's dad here. You're just getting a shout out from him. Obviously, getting a chance to work with the young guys in there. And so, what does it mean? Not only obviously to be sitting there waiting for the answer, but then realizing it is your last season. What did it mean to you to be able to work with these kids one last time, make sure you can show as much leadership as possible?
Yeah, no, I mean, the one thing that I've always been told and been taught, and hopefully it kind of keeps going, is just like, you want to leave the jersey in a better place. You want to put the program first and just do whatever you can to advance the program and advance the guys in the program. And no, it's been awesome. Like Jackson Calgill, love Jackson, love Mason. It's been a treat to be with those guys. And no, it's so cool just to be able to, because I mean, again, like we've all been the guys looking up to somebody. It's cool to kind of have some type of a leadership role and just to be able to help out and teach and try to get guys to do the right thing and just kind of lock in and dial in. But no, pretty cool. Definitely very cool.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, I'm actually going to piggyback off that. I know there's some other comments that we want to hit on here, but speaking of D-line room, we were actually just talking about, the lunch with the U deal with Coach today, and we were talking about position groups. But maybe for you, since you obviously are close to, the D-line, who are some guys that we should be watching for next year that are going to have a big impact? Maybe guys that we already know, or maybe even some guys that are like kind of under the radar but are going to have a bigger role this year.
Yeah. The first one I'll say, Nate LaPerry. Yeah, Nate LaPerry, love that guy. He's young. He doesn't act like he's young. He'll come up to me and he'll say some pretty wild things to me, and I'm like, hold on. Like, no, but Nate LaPerry, that kid's he's gonna be really good. I hope he doesn't see this. I do hope he sees this, but he's gonna be really good player. I've gotten to watch him kind of work and operate this winter, and he's moving at a high level. So I'm very excited to see him. I'm trying to think. Chris Dixon, obviously, big Chris, the big Maple. No, that guy.
Yeah, I like that.
He's awesome. He's really kind of stepped up in a leadership role, and he's very strong, very fast, very athletic for somebody his size. I mean, they call him Big Skill Chris, and he's been doing really well, kind of taking that group over, which I'm really happy to see. I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, Jackson Calgill's in there. We got some big dudes. Jackson Calgill.
Oh, yes.
Big guy.
Yeah.
So there's a little shout out, Asher Tomaszewski. He played at K-State with my little brother. I've known him. I've met him over the years, and I'm pumped that he is at the University of South Dakota. I got to kind of host him on his visit, and I was like, kind of talking to him like, it's similar situation what I was in. You could have a really good time here and win a lot of football games, and so I'm really, really excited to see him. Starman I'm running through everybody that I've gotten to see.
Yeah.
Starman from Brown. I've heard really good things. He looks good. He moves really well. Sam from Iowa State. That kid is freaky.
Wichita boy, gotta get it out there.
Yes.
Yep. That's right.
No, but that kid, he's freaky. There's so many, and I'm not naming all of them, but they're gonna be legit. Coach Nelson he comes up to me and tells me, he's like, Elmo, we're gonna be better than last year up front. Hey, come on, like, he knows kind of gets come on, coach. But no, they're gonna be.
Oh, that's funny. That's good.
I was gonna say, I think we talked about it on our last defensive episode, at least, that the D line. I don't want to call it question marks because it's not, but it's names that aren't really we've seen. Obviously, Nathan LaPerry, he showed out some stuff here and there last season, but now I think where you talked about it's probably the deepest room on this team all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is very, very deep. Those guys can. They did it again. That's another position group where they won in the portal, and it's easy to do that when you have a position coach like Coach Nelson. I mean, you got a guy like that who teaches the game well and doesn't some of these coaches, they don't necessarily teach and develop. They kind of tell you what to do, but no, I mean, Coach Nelson, he teaches and develops, and he's very close with the players. And it's when a coach has a relationship with the player, it's pretty easy for you to want to succeed with that coach, So, no, I mean, they were always going to do well with Coach Nelson leading that group for sure.
Absolutely. All right, Austin. There's a bunch of comments here, but I want to get to you, Austin. Make sure. Do you have any questions that you have? Top of mind?
Really, only the one, and this is more of a general question, not necessarily related to you, but also just the defensive line position in general. As we've kind of seen, like in the transfer portal, teams are really spending a lot of money on defensive line. What do you think it is about that position compared to the rest of the defense? Especially at USD, we've had a really good defensive line like the last 2 to 3, 4 years. What do you think? Why are teams prioritizing that over other positions, and why is that translating to success?
Yeah, I don't know. I think defensive line. Obviously, I'm going to say is one of the most, not the most important, position on the defense, but like a good defensive lineman, a good just defensive line in general can completely alter a game. That's why I think so. I think it's really hard to have like the way that we play football, the way that University of South Dakota plays defense and as a whole, having a good, stout, technical D-line is super important. And if you can do that, I mean, I felt like there's a lot of games where we eliminated the run, and we took pride in that, just kind of shutting down the run. Like, you cannot run the ball inside. And if you can do that, leads to a lot of success. That's the one thing that just over the years that I've seen is that you got some guys that you got some freaks of nature at D-line. You have some guys that can rush the passer. You got one guy that can rush the passer really well. But when you have a complete unit, and like Texas Tech, it's the most money. But you got guys like that. They have built a good line at every single end, tackle, nose, and they're technically sound, and they shut down the run and just kind of alter a game. So that's what I think. But yeah.
All right, so you actually you struck a memory that I didn't have written down here, but you mentioned that shutting down the run is what you guys sought to do. What did that Indiana State game mean to you 2 years ago? I think it was you held them to -3 rushing yards.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean it was awesome. That was kind of we'll look at. We probably shouldn't have, but we were. You said 2 years ago, right? In 24?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So me and Blake, again, shouldn't have. We would like kind of get the stat sheet at halftime and look at the rushing yards and be like, all right. We looked at it and we're like, okay, we've had good first halves before. And then after the game, we kind of see it again. And we're like, wow, no way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's always it's really a great thing when that happens. That's what we aim to do. So,
yeah, I was gonna say usually hold them under 100 yards rushing is like always a goal. It feels like to be under 0 is absolutely wild. So, but yeah, that was just a memory that you kind of flooded back into when you mentioned wanting to stop the run. Now we get to this just because it's funny that Mitch mentions this because this actually reminds me. This is when the high five started with the girls. It was the game before. It was a good luck high five for the next game. And it was, I believe, UC Davis. Tipped ball, interception to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was that like? What was it like to get a big man pick?
Nah, that was so cool. I mean, I got one. I've gotten one in high school, and we do the kind of the drill for that situation, kind of the tip ball, the screen drill. And I saw the ball, and I was like, no way. Everybody says that I went down. I feel like that I got tackled, but no, I saw the end zone was a long ways away. Running that far is tough after a bunch of snaps, but it was very cool. That's one that a lot of people bring up to me. That night after the game, like usually as a D lineman, you don't really get recognized, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that was the one time, like that night, we were out and about, and somebody's like, "You're the one that got the pick today, man." And I was like, "Yeah, that's me. I finally got some."
Hell yeah, it was.
The best part is you didn't get lost in the shuffle either, because you guys ended up with 5 interceptions in that game altogether, and the fact that nobody forgot yours, so that's a big deal.
They did call it the thick pick on like
There you go.
Yep.
and I got called thick pick around the dome for a couple weeks after that.
I mean, not a lot of
Oh, that's
6'5", 320 guys out there being ball hawks like yourself, right?
That's right. That's
Also,
right.
I need to put out there finally that Coach Rosenthal, Coach Rosie, there was one day when I first got there, I was heavier than I am now, but he was like, you know what, you look like you're 320. And I'm not 320, Rosie. Like, you can take that off. He's like, I think he thought it was hilarious and left it. I've been 320 for 3 years. I do not weigh 325. But I'm up.
That's funny.
Well, isn't that what they do on the rosters? Make you guys all look taller and bigger, just to intimidate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But like 310 would have been like, that's intimidating. 320 is large.
You've been holding on to that for way too long. You had to get it out there finally.
I had to. That's like one thing that I needed to let go. But there we go.
That's funny. That's good.
All right. So actually, I really like this question. We'll get this one, and then we'll kind of dive deeper into the coaching staff here. But what are your thoughts on South Dakota's current trajectory? Where do you see us going?
Oh man, obviously up. No, but there's a lot of really great people at the University of South Dakota in all kind of aspects. I mean, our AD, John Schemmel, that guy is on top of the game, on top and ahead of the game. I got the opportunity to kind of sit down with him and just kind of pick his brain while I was going through that waiver process and just learning about athletic departments and what we're doing at the University of South Dakota and how, you always want to be a step ahead of the competition and how are we, kind of gaining that edge. And he is a genius. He knows exactly what he's doing. I love hearing him talk because we obviously very smart guy, but you can tell he's always thinking about the next thing. And but I mean, with him, we're going to go far. I know the whole realignment and FBS, FCS. I know what I think about it. I know what kind of everybody talks about. But I mean, I think you don't want to be a team that's a university that's left behind. So I'm very excited to see what happens with the University of South Dakota. Coach Vitz. I mean, obviously, that guy's going to do a great job. But no, I'm very excited to see just kind of how we keep going up, just as a whole university.
All right, so we're going to dive into just the coaching here a little bit with the change. And it's kind of getting repeat questions here. We got one, who's the best recruiter between Nielsen, Johansson, and Vitz? And then another one is there a different approach in recruiting with Vitz?
Yeah. Okay. The best recruiter. I mean, I think obviously I'm kind of going to take the cop-out answer. They're all very good.
Yep.
They're all very good recruiters. Definitely different. Coach Nielsen, kind of just you look at his track record and you look at what he's got. I mean, he doesn't have to do a whole lot more than just kind of to show you. But no, again, like I said earlier, great people, very good person, genuine person, and that kind of that does a lot of recruiting. That's like Coach Nielsen. He can talk to. I know he can talk to my parents for hours. He can talk to me for hours. But he'll surprise you and throw in some wild stories every once in a while. But no, he does he did a great job. Coach Johansson he's a killer. Like he's very, very driven, and he will do a lot to successfully recruit. But he did a great job too. I mean, those two together, you can't say no to those two guys together when they're recruiting.
Absolutely.
So, and then Coach Vitz does a great job. Coach Vitz is like very tapped in with the guys, very, very tapped in with the guys and what's going on, just what's going on in their worlds. He cares about that stuff. He cares about connecting with the guys, which I think is something very special. Something that will take him and the recruiting that he does a long ways. But like Coach Vitz came up to me. I remember one time we were at recruit dinner. He asked me, I don't know if you guys ever seen the show Power, but he asked me if I would watch Power. I was like, absolutely. But you seen that show? And he's like, oh yeah. He's gonna kill it for sure. But But no, they all do a good job. I mean, obviously, like they've been super successful with what we've done the past couple of years. So.
Yep. All right, so now we're gonna pry you a little bit for some of those stories that you mentioned. You said you got some good stories.
Oh man. Oh.
We gotta, I was gonna say that's what I was just about to say too. I was like, I know we're getting toward the end here, but we got to pry you for a story that maybe you haven't told before, or maybe a funny one that people haven't heard. But we got to get at least one or two out of you, and then I do have one final question. We'll ask them the standard final question that we ask guests, but just wanted to tap into your brain on some of those, maybe a story that people haven't heard or aren't aware of. That'd be.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I told a couple of my buddies, I was like, I'm just gonna kind of let it rip. No,
yeah, please do.
I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, like on the field stuff, like when we beat NDSU that first time at NDSU, that was nuts. That's the one thing I will kind of like toot my own horn a little bit, but I also like give a lot of love and respect to Blake Holden. That guy, me and him played. We played a lot of snaps that game, and I mean Blake played more than me. He was on all the third down stuff, and that was that was my first time playing like a true like Valley opponent. Like I mean the rival, one of them, and very physical game. I mean that was like Gray Zabel, the kid who started for the Seahawks here at center, like next to each other. No, but I mean that was insane, and then. That night was also a lot of fun. The defensive bus is a very, very strict place, very stone cold locked in, which there's no other way that it should be, I think. And we thought we were getting a little loose on the bus ride home, which is fine. We got the win. People were talking and couple songs were being sung and stuff. And then we saw a video of the offensive bus, and Travis Tice has his shirt off, walking up and down the aisle, yelling, and they're yelling and screaming. And that's something that guy is awesome. Travis Tice is awesome. Done a lot for the Yotes, but no, that was kind of my first like, oh, we're good. We're gonna be really good.
Yeah.
But man, I'm trying to think. I mean, this past season was my first time beating the Jacks. Was this past season, and I've never seen like the dome. Seeing the dome like that was awesome. Just being a part of that was so cool. I know that there's a lot of hatred, between the two. But that was so much fun. Just my whole family got to come up, and my little brother's linebacker at Kansas State, and he got to come up. And so every game, a lot of the games we would go out to Bunyan's, my family would. And my brother, went to the game, had a really good time, came to Bunyan's, and Bunyan's was jumping. Just everybody was in Bunyan's. And my brother looked at me and was like, dude, this is like a movie. Like, this is like one of those like football movies that you turn on. Everybody's in here, everybody's downtown. But it was I've had some pretty special times. If you have any of the other guy, any like Tice and Blake on, or Nick Gage, you should ask them about the Coyote Brotherhood. It was a place in Vermilion that was a very special place for us that we had a good time at. But you should ask those guys about it.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
But no, there's been I've had so many great memories and met my best friends here, and guys that I'll talk to for the rest of my life. And it's very special. Vermilion is a special place.
Absolutely. It's almost weird how much it can grab a hold of you.
Yeah, 100%. No matter what.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that there's a couple times we would say it during the year. We'd be like, would you ever guess that you'd be in Vermilion, South Dakota? Right. Like, getting ready for a football game on Saturday? We'd be like, no way. But I mean, there's so many of us that have transferred, and so many of us that come from, I've seen the debates on Twitter about, the South Dakota kids, who's got more South Dakota kids and all that stuff. But that's the one thing that we've got guys from all over, which I think is a blessing. You get to meet all these different people and learn and grow yourself as a person. But like all these people end up loving the University of South Dakota, loving Vermilion, and never thought you would. So
exactly. Yeah, I still think back to I believe it was Gary Bryant through his recruiting when he was told he was going out to visit USD. He thought he was going to San Diego.
yeah,
And fell in love on accident. So
Right.
no, that's a real thing. I mean, even if you like type in Google, sometimes like USD is saying like, nope, that's the wrong one, not the San Diego one,
exactly.
the real one.
That's right, the real one.
Now I know you said you got a question, but I want to make sure, Austin, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. But when you're down at K-State watching one of your brother's games, I'll have to hit you up because I'm not too far away. So
Absolutely, yeah.
don't be a stranger.
No, I hope to get to a couple of them. Are you? I know like the whole fake Patty's Day thing is a big deal. My brother's been telling me about it.
I've been told by my girlfriend we'll see.
Well, my brother keeps blowing up my phone about it. I don't know. Obviously I can't partake in any of that right now, but it sounds fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely. I'll be down there. So
Perfect.
let you know. Absolutely.
I was going to say, we appreciate having you on. This has been a ton of fun, but we do always, whenever we have a guest on, we always end with the same question. So maybe you've seen it before, and maybe you've kind of already answered it with your story. But we got to get your favorite place to eat in Vermilion
Or the surrounding area.
right? I mean, you could throw into Toby's or
I think,
Rams,
yeah, I
right?
think
Like
Joey
that's,
picked Toby.
yeah. But we always ask everybody what your favorite places, or if you have like a couple different ones, you want to rank them. Up to you.
Yeah.
You're still in Vermilion, so you're in it.
Yeah. Okay. Man, favorite place to eat. I love. Okay, Brick House is awesome. Brick House is like I love Brick House. They're all good. That's the thing. Brick House is awesome. There's a lot of Mexican places here, and they're all really good.
Yep.
I think an underrated one is the Mexican or not Mexican. The is it Silk Road?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Silk Road is like super like underrated. I was telling one of our coaches about it the other day. He's like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Silk Road is legit.
Yeah, it's tough because they're not taking seating right now.
No, take out only.
Take out only.
Push it up. I know.
Yeah.
Take out only, but and you get a ton of food there. And obviously, a guy like me, I'm gonna enjoy a lot of food. So, no, I love Fayuca. Fayuca has Taco Tuesday. That was one thing we do during the fall, during football season. It's like half price tacos, and they're so good. But all right, I'm gonna go top three. I'm gonna go Brick House 1, Fayuca 2, and Bunyan's 3. Bunyan's Bombers, Bunyan's. I've never had the walleye from there. I heard it's really good.
I was gonna say you're hurting Joel's feelings now. He will come after you on Twitter for that one.
I've never had it. I need to. I get the burger with the pulled pork on there.
Absolutely.
It's good. I've heard Leo's. Gotta give a shout out to Leo's. They have good food too. I've had their food.
Great burger at Leo's, no doubt.
Yeah, they had that deal going. I don't know if they still got it, but that was a great place to go get a cheap burger that tastes really good. So, yeah, what are your guys' favorite? I'm actually curious.
So, Silk Road for me and my wife, we've been going there for forever. But yeah, that's by far our favorite place. But Bunyan's is a classic. I mean, we like I said, I grew up in Vermilion, so there's a lot that have been changed. Old Bunyan's was like the most iconic dive bar
before they built it.
Before they built up the new one, the old one. So, but no, I think it's for me and my wife, it's Silk Road. If we're in Vermilion, we're picking it up and taking it home every time.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
Austin, I'll pass that over to you.
I lived above Leo's, so and I got fat off of Leo's food, so I gotta stick with Leo's. I'll be honest with you. I had to lose like 80 pounds. I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get away from this place.
Yeah, I've heard that, and I didn't want to do the same because Silk Road is near and dear. Actually, after the Drake playoff game, we stayed back in Vermilion because of the snowstorm.
Yep.
So it was nice because we got to have Silk Road and just the family eating on the hotel bed and the Red Roof Inn. That was pretty awesome.
Classic.
I'm gonna change it up though, just because everybody else did it, and I'm gonna go old school here, but Roadhouse.
Whoa.
That
Doesn't
was
even exist anymore.
Doesn't even exist anymore. So that's
In peace.
yes.
Awesome.
That
They
was
had like all you can eat tacos, didn't they?
Road. Where was that at?
so
Right. Go ahead.
right by Jimmy John's.
Okay.
Very close to Jimmy John's.
Yeah, across the parking lot from Dairy Queen.
Yep.
You
Oh
can't-
yeah. Okay. I know. Yep. I know the building.
It's been sitting empty for years. Like I don't even
Yep.
know what's in there now, but
No, it's empty. It's still empty.
that's what I mean. I think
Yeah.
it's just it just sits empty, but that's
Yeah.
a throwback. I like that one.
If somebody wants to go through and bring it back, as long as they bring the fish bowls back with it.
Oh god.
This sounds
I
really
forgot
lame,
about
but their
the
chicken
fish
strips are
bowls.
phenomenal.
The fish bowls where that's where you got a guy in
Yeah.
trouble. Fish bowls at the Roadhouse.
I'll keep the wife's story off the air. On that one. We'll leave it at that. Let's just say a little lady in a fish bowl fight.
Oh my goodness, Alfredo's. I almost forgot about Alfredo's.
Oh yeah.
That's one too. That
Oh,
one's
that's
great.
right. That's right.
And they're like made a little comeback here. So
Okay.
I tell people this a lot. I'm glad that other people agree with me. I always say they say it's because I'm from Vermilion, but like sneaky good food scene in Vermilion for a town of its size. Like really good food. We're learning that as we moved away from Vermilion to Sioux Falls. It's you miss a lot of good restaurants, no doubt.
yeah, no, there is a ton of good food. I mean, all the places kind of downtown are. I mean, you can eat at and be happy with. So,
No doubt.
Absolutely. All right. Well, to anybody that's watching live, if you have anything else, throw it in the chat quick. I wanted to check with Austin. Any other questions? Anything come to mind?
Nothing coming to mind. I just want to wish you the best of luck as you're, getting prepared for Pro Day 2.0. I'm sure you'll go out there and crush it.
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
I do have one question. If, or I should say when, the Yotes bring a championship back to Verm, Frosted Tips, are they coming back?
I don't know. I think it's. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I would.
I thought you were just gonna ask him to do a Bunyan bomber with you.
I was thinking shirt off on the bus is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, all the above.
Yeah.
Once the Yotes bring one back, all the above will happen. Yeah, frosted tips included for sure.
All right, we did have one last question thrown in the chat here because we are very we're
This is
fashion
good.
forward here at Back to Pack. We always have a segment about the uniforms, so we'll throw it to you. What was your favorite uniform combo?
Oh man, I think the Drake playoff one. We've never did it. It was the red helmet, black face mask, black. I think.
Oh man.
Yeah, you now don't ever have to buy a drink when you're in a bar with Grant.
That was my recommendation to Coach when he was on our podcast before the Drake game. As I said, hey, we've never seen the red helmet, black and black. I think it would look really good. And so he said, all right, I'll put the bug in the ears of the guys that do the uniforms. So when we bust them out, I was very excited. So for you to give me some validation on that, love that.
Yeah, no, that one was sick. We kind of that's the one thing with those. So I call them kind of my group of seniors was like Blake Holden, Joey, Tice, all the guys that are my grade. We always kind of wanted to do some stuff like that, and there's a couple of guys that were like, I don't know, that's not us. And this past year, we kind of finally were like let's just do it. And 'cause I know, I remember Blake texted me. It was after one of the games where we did the red helmet, black face mask. He was like, dude, that's sick. I'm so mad we didn't do that a year ago. But no, yeah, I think that Drake playoff one was the best for sure.
Well, my night's made. That's all I needed to hear.
Exactly. He's completely validated
That's
now.
great.
Well, and then with
That's too
this,
big.
they're the uniforms. I've gotten to kind of get a little sneak peek at what's coming up, and
Ooh.
they're
boy.
they're pretty legit.
See, and I thought they were going to kick a classic, keep it the same, because that's what we did kind of when we went from from Nike to Adidas the previous time. So we've actually got the same sentiment from Corey when he was on too.
Yeah.
So
I'm
Yeah,
excited to see those. That'll be good.
Yeah, I know. Our equipment manager Josh Pansagraw, he lives and breathes that stuff, and he has done a great job. I mean, I think we have had the best uniform combos and uniforms in the Valley, and it's going to stay that way for sure. Absolutely.
all right, perfect. Well, and for the last bit, I'll put you on the spot if you're good for it at least. Do you have any message or any comments to Coyote Nation?
Obviously, I want to say thank you. This has been, being at the University of South Dakota, truly it was like the best time of my life, has been. And just very thankful for all the love and support. The people of Vermilion, the fan base of, the Coyotes, the Yotes are the best in the country. I truly believe that. And I'm very excited to kind of watch, be a spectator now and watch the university go win a national championship. So.
Absolutely. Well, I will say when you're on the sidelines, don't hesitate to stop by the tailgate.
I will not. I will definitely show up. Yep, for sure.
You'll make girls' day. Probably the full season too with that. So.
No, I will be there. Absolutely, 100%.
All right, perfect. Well, hey, Mo, thanks for taking the time and hang out with us. I told you 45 minutes max. Here we are going over an hour, so that was an absolute blast. So.
Oh no, that was
appreciate the heck out of the time you spent with USDN with us. So thank you. Thanks for being a Yote. Thanks for joining us.
For sure. No, thank you guys so much for everything you do, and this has been a blast. So.
Perfect. All right. Well, I think the last thing we need to say is go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Go Yotes.